out. Let's do a Facebook Live on it. How about we do a collaboration piece where let's take some of your life coaching skill and let's take some of the money mindset stuff and let's do something together on that. All of a sudden, you're leveraging multiple audiences. You're talking about a combination of things. It's amazing how quickly you can make some of that stuff happen now. And there's huge upside for businesses in that. And again, I think it's why it's important that people understand the principle and the process by which they can earn a profit in their business, because that helps guide the thinking then about the right things to do and the things which don't fit. And that gives, it's another way of saying it gives people choices about what they do and don't want to do on that basis. Great opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was a really, really interesting discussion from the personal questions I wanted to ask Jason, but we still got to get into another one. A favorite book that you've read in the last 6 months that you'd recommend to our listening audience?
See, now I have to say, I do find this a particularly interesting question, given that actually I'm not a reader. My wife is a prolific reader and reads thousands of books in the course of a year, I should think. My routine always tended to be I would read in the pre-Sun era. My wife and I would sort of go away somewhere for a fortnight and we take half a dozen books each and get through half a dozen books in a fortnight. And that typically is my style of reading. I think in terms of things that I have read, that's to say, I can read. It's just a choice. I was always far sportier as a youngster, so the idea of sitting down and reading basically meant needing to sit still, which never appealed to me in my youth. I always wanted to be off playing sport, so reading always took a back seat. Profit First by Mike Michalowicz is a book that I've read in the last 6 months, which I would thoroughly recommend to listeners from a business perspective. A great system about how to actually deal with money and correct money flows in your business and your life and start to compartmentalize things. That I think is a great read for anybody. Clearly available through Amazon and so on. I did it on a Kindle download. But yes, most of my reading tends to be very non-fiction based. I'd also say for anybody that hasn't read Russell Brunson's books, from a ClickFunnels background, there's some really good, again, a lot of it is so obvious you think, I can't believe I didn't think about this or I didn't know it, but some of it can just be about how things get presented, the logical process of things and stating the obvious, which people so often don't see and they don't appreciate for being what it is. It becomes the thing that we assume we know, but it actually takes someone else to either say the words or to write the words that we then go and read that actually make it register. So I definitely recommend both of his books that are out there at the moment.
Yeah, Russell's stuff is Russell Brunson, ClickFunnels, anything that he has written, get a hold of. They are all terrific, and he's constantly bringing out more stuff. I don't know if Russell will kill me for this or I used to live in Boise, Idaho, which is where Russell is.
Yeah.
And he was an All-American wrestler at Boise State back in the early 2000s. And I don't think he lets that out a whole heck of a lot. He's a tiny little big stout guy and just a terrific individual that has made millions of dollars and now employs probably 10 Boise, Idaho there. But Boise State University and was an actual All-American wrestler, wrestling for the Boise State team long before he had a business, long before he became the success he is at ClickFunnels. But that gave him obviously the discipline to be able to put a business like that together. If you don't know of ClickFunnels, find out about it. It's absolutely brilliant concept that Russell came up with, and he's making millions of dollars a year now, so he's a model. So ClickFunnels is something Jason uses, something I use, something many entrepreneurs use. If you don't know what ClickFunnels is, check it out. It's an amazing tool to grow your profitable. All right, Jason, what's your favorite food?
Food. So this to me is it's a bit of a desert island question. If I was marooned on a desert island, I would have to go for I'd hedge my bets a little bit and go under the banner of fish on the grounds I like shellfish, regular fish, and so on. But the variety that comes out of that, I think that would always be pretty much my first choice as a starting point. Really, there will always be something on a menu if it involves fish. Yep, I'll pretty much always go for that.
All right, good. Yeah. Good. Okay, what else can I ask you here? It's of your first radio show on the Coach on Fire Radio Network, Profit Levers with Jason A. Withers. And we'll give you all the links on the replay here to get a hold of Jason and to next amazing show. Don't forget Profit Levers on Facebook, where you can download this brilliant framework and document that he made your business more profitable and more fun. So, all right, Jason, would you say one thing that embarrasses your 10-year-old the most?
One thing that embarrasses him the most?
From Dad.
Okay. I think apart from the obvious dad dancing kind of jokes, I presume, when you're out in public and those kind of things. I think it would be fair to say it's not so much an embarrassment thing, but I think it's one of those things in life. I don't think he appreciates it yet, and hopefully it will have its day. It's those moments where he suddenly realizes he's being kept on the straight and narrow path of, I hope, learning how to be a great human being, and then looking at some of the examples of what goes on around him. So I think it's more of a, I'm not sure it falls into the embarrassment category. I think for him, it's probably frustration. Just let me go and be a 10-year-old and let me go and do my stuff. Exactly. Meanwhile, he's kind of being pulled back into line a bit and just being told, see, look, this is why we try and do things this way. So I think probably more frustration than embarrassment, to be fair. Or I hope so anyway.
Okay. And do you like movies? Any favorite movies or anything that you've seen in the last few months or so?
So interesting enough, I would say movies. Yes, I do like movies. Typical kind of thriller, action kind of stuff would be very much my thing. I've obviously endured an awful lot more child-oriented movies, which I suppose has got me back into things like Star Wars and so on, with the latest iterations of all those movies, as he's come through at that sort of age as well, have been great. Music, I would say, for me is my side thing. I played the violin for 8 years when I was at school, played in the orchestra, used to love that, hated the practice, but loved the whole orchestral piece. That was great fun to do. I play the guitar, although to be fair, I haven't really played that very much recently. And I've generally, my musical brain, I think, is stuck probably back in the 1980s somewhere. There came a point in time where people seemed to stop using instruments and started using electronics and other things, which didn't appeal to me quite so much. So I'm a bit of a traditional band musical instrument kind of person, I suppose. So the big kind of stadium tour bands, I guess, are my kind of favorite as a musical genre, I suppose, for time. But talking earlier on about Legoland and the models and places like Las Vegas, when we were out there in Las Vegas last October, stayed at the Hard Rock Hotel, and that's just great for any musical fans who just want to go and see some great music memorabilia.
Great place in Vegas.
Great to do that. But there was a Rolling Stones exhibition on at the Venetian, I think it was, or the Palazzo at the same time, and that was a great exhibition as well. So yes, really good, great classical band-oriented music, I would say, is much more my thing, perhaps, than movies.
Okay. Okay. Do you have any sort of, not much of a movie fan, but you were talking about music. Is there a celebrity crush that you might have?
Oh, good grief. Celebrity crush. I'm going to give you not specifically a crush thing, but I suppose from a celebrity point of view, I think the celebrities who go out of their way to actually be human beings. So Tom Cruise would be a great example of this. Certainly the movie stuff that he does, whenever he does premieres and so on, recently for things like the Mission Impossible films and so on in Leicester Square in London, his ability to spend time on the red carpet actually conversing with the people who have turned up to see him, rather than doing the kind of, I'm far too precious, I have to go over here and get out of your way. So any of these celebrities who show any sort of self-effacing humour when they're interviewed, people who are happy to have a bit of a laugh and joke about themselves and actually come across as being human beings. I think I do very much appreciate that side of the celebrity piece. And I do very much respect that as well. It's not strictly a crush, I recognise, but I think that is something that I would say impresses me more in the celebrities, where you see them actually demonstrating that really very genuine human behavior.
Well, great, Jason. And we've just got a minute left here. So I want to thank you for allowing me to interview Levers, premiering at 8 p.m. London time, just 2 weeks from today. Bookmark in Jason's group. Get that framework that he was talking about. Really brilliant episode. I hope you fans got a lot out of it, making it and fun, and realizing that what you do here while you're transforming Lochany, you are business, and you need to treat it as more profitable. And not Jason A. Withers. If you need to get a hold of him, join his group. And that's about it for me to turn it back to you, and you can promo and have any fun you want, and we will go down. And I from today to hear your very first solo app, Profit Levers.
Great. Thanks very much, Michael. Great interview, some great questions in there and some great topics covered. So, looking forward to the next show in 2 weeks' time, and really getting people on this path so that we can really start making an impact from a profit perspective. Really looking forward to that. So thanks very much indeed, Michael.
Well, thank you, Jason, and I hope you're all having a magical Monday, and we are going to end now. Let me see if I can roll the final credit here, and we will go from there. Thank you again, Jason. From today, Profit Levers, 12 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. And that will be 3 p.m. on the East Coast as well. Make it a magical Monday, everyone, and out here in the West. And if you're in London, I hope you have a terrific evening and be great. That's a wrap, Jason. Good job.
Great stuff. Thanks, Michael.